Both ends there are threaded. I can see the end there I had to turn down because it was hitting the master cylinder when I got close there, and wouldn't let the pedal go to the floorboard. There's a jam nut. I think I used Loctite on that end, so I only adjust this end. Go back here, I'll show you. This is a stock master cylinder, an old one I had. I took it apart. It's pretty easy. Take that snap ring there off. It lets this cap come off, and then just the whole assembly pulls out. I cut it right here where the two different diameters meet, and then I threaded them both, and then that piece of rod I drilled and tapped both ends and just stuck it in between there. It's not that hard. And then these are all the factory connection fittings here. I'll show you. I put a steel braided line on here. Unfortunately, the company that made the steel braided line, I can't find them anymore. People have been about that. And as you can see, some master cylinders have a roll pin or a clip. This one has a clip, and I just put the line right in the master cylinder and bypass all that factory stuff. I'll start it up here. You can see how much higher it sits in the factory location. It's a good bit higher. It took a little bit to get used to, but once I got used to it, it doesn't bother me anymore. You can see it goes to the floorboard. It's not that hard to push. I don't know if you can hear the disc rattle. I'll show you how it goes into gear. Now it's pretty cold out. The truck's not warm. It goes into gear easier when it's cold. That's low gear. That's reverse. Now reverse, once the transmission gets warm, the reverse does want to grind if I don't go to another gear first. But before I modified the master cylinder, it was virtually impossible to go in low or reverse. That's how it goes in. The steel braided line is what made the pedal push easy. It didn't help the clutch disengage any better, but the pushing the pedal was so much easier after putting that line on. But modifying the master cylinder is what made the clutch disengage like it should. As I mentioned earlier, you gotta be careful how close your rod, whatever you make to put in there, let me get that back together, how close it gets, because this goes up in there pretty far. And when I first made mine, it hit right here and wouldn't let the pedal go to the floorboard. So you just gotta be careful there. And And as you can see, this one here has a roll pin. You take that roll pin out. Now the one on the truck actually has a clip similar to that, just a little bit smaller. You take them out and these will pull out, and that line I had made up just fits right in there. And you can even do that with the stock line. I don't know if there's any benefit to that or not. But that steel braided line is what made my pedal push so easy.